Hello, Eternal Life fans. It's Rowan here. The intention of this video is if you're a Democratic voter, if you vote Democrat, hopefully I can convince you to stop voting Democrat. The biggest issue here is immigration. Okay, I have to stress this point. It's about immigration. Like all the other issues are very minor compared to this issue of immigration. I vote in the interests of preserving the demographics of America. I vote in the interests of not having America be flooded with immigrants from South America, from Middle Eastern countries, right? I want to preserve the identity of America, which is why I'm a nationalist, which is why I love Trump. And I feel like there's a lot of Democrats who speak out against terrorism, but just the very act of voting Democrat, you are voting in politicians that are more likely to be pro-open borders. They're going to have a policy that has more immigrants coming into America, immigrants from the Middle East and so on. This is actually going to cause more terrorism. So I find it strange that there's a lot of Democrats that, they speak out against terrorism. They speak out against, they see the problems of what happened in Europe with that whole mass immigration. And now there's a bunch of violence and criminal activity and increased rape in Europe and everything. And what caused that? It was liberal policies. Angela Merkel. That's what caused this mass immigration in Europe to ruin European countries, Germany, Sweden, okay? These are caused by liberal immigration policies. And why aren't they connecting the dots to see that the same liberal policies in America is going to cause more, mass immigration into America? It's going to shift the demographics of America. It's going to dramatically change the demographics of America eventually, just like it's doing with Europe. The Democrat Party is the party of open borders. And I get it that maybe it didn't used to be this way. Maybe the Democrats in the past, they weren't as pro, open borders and pro mass immigration and everything. But you have to look at the Democratic Party today. And today, the Democratic Party is the problem. It's going to directly change the demographics. And why is this? Because, and I'm not the first one to have noticed this, it's the Democrats, the leaders of the Democratic Party, they understand that these migrants will vote Democrat, okay? And so the Democratic Party wants to increase immigration from foreign nations because they know that these immigrants will vote Democrat and thereby secure more votes for the Democrats in the future. And so this is their plan. They want more immigrants to come into America, and they're willing to put us all at risk. They're willing to put American lives at risk from migrant crime, all because they want more votes for the Democratic Party. And this is evil, and this is why I would never vote Democrat, and why I don't understand those people who are Democrats, but they're, I guess, supposedly woke Democrats, and they want to salvage the Democratic Party and everything. But can't they understand that that's a losing battle? Okay, why not jump ship from this Democratic Party and switch over to the party of Republicans who are actually trying to save America? Okay, Trump is trying to save America by being a nationalist. This is what's going to protect America from the migrant invasion. Okay, it's the political right. These are the people who are going to preserve Western culture, preserve Western civilization, essentially. So if you're one of these Democrats, a publicly self-identifying Democrat, and you're claiming to care about preserving the demographics of America so that the demographics aren't radically changed, right? Then if you're voting Democrat, you're voting for politicians that are not in alignment with that whole idea. Democratic politicians want the demography of America to change because that gives them more liberal votes, more Democrat votes. And so can't you see this conflict here? You are you're actually part of the problem if you're voting Democrat. If you're one of these people trying to salvage the Democratic Party, that's not going to work. You're part of the problem because you're causing more people to vote Democrat. And these Democratic politicians, they're always going to vote on the side of more immigration. And so really, you know, if you're a Democrat promoting that people vote Democrat, you're just paying lip service to the idea of protecting America. You don't really care about protecting America. Otherwise, you would just encourage everyone to vote Republican. Because Republican, that's going to truly save America from, you know, the foreign hordes that are going to ruin America. And not only do the Democratic politicians, they generally support open borders, but they also support a welfare state. And we know the dangers of having open borders with a combination of a welfare state. What a horrible combination that is. Because more and more of these immigrants are going to be flocking to America for free handouts. And eventually this will change the demographics of America. And we see that a lot of the immigrants coming over, they have a hatred towards white people. They hate American culture. Most of these immigrants are not going to be able to assimilate. They're going to carry their own culture with them into America. Then eventually the character of America, the American culture, will eventually change as the demographics of America change. Isn't this obvious? I'm really just stating the obvious here, and a lot of other people have said this. Lately, I really like what Nick Fuentes is saying. Nick Fuentes is a great guy to watch his show, America First. I've been watching a lot of his stuff, and it's really good. That guy is extremely smart when it comes to politics. Anyways, there's a lot more I could say, but really, I just want to get across that, you know, if you don't agree with the Republicans on every issue, so what? Who cares? It's about prioritizing the most important issue, which is immigration, which is preserving the demographics. Because this is about safety. This is about survival. We don't want to see an America invaded by a bunch of foreign immigrants that will cause more terrorism, violence, criminal, migrant crime, gang crime. Is that the type of America you want to see? No, I want to see a safe America. So stop voting Democrat, okay? Walk away. Just walk away. Don't try to salvage this Democrat Party. It's not going to work. Like I said, you don't have to agree with the Republicans on every issue. The important thing is, look, you should be willing to sacrifice these smaller political issues. Let's say you don't agree with the Republicans on abortion. Okay, you don't agree with the Republicans on gun control. All right, well, who cares? Be willing to sacrifice those smaller issues for the sake of the bigger issue, the larger issue at hand, which is immigration. We want to have a strong border. We need to build the wall. We need to protect American lives from this criminal activity, these migrants coming over. And eventually, the entire demographic change of America. We don't want this change to happen. We need to preserve America. The Democrat Party is the party of degeneracy. It's the party of globalism. Politics, really, when it boils down to it, is about eternal life. We need to have the right politicians to promote our eternal life, keep us safe from migrant crime. And it's like, you know, Jared Taylor. I'm sure you're familiar with Jared Taylor, right? And everything he stands for. Well, if you're a fan of Jared Taylor, if you're a fan of what Jared Taylor stands for, then you have to understand there's a reason that Jared Taylor wanted Donald Trump to be president. Why Jared Taylor was so happy that Donald Trump became president, and he always endorsed Donald Trump. Because Jared Taylor understands that it's the Democrats that are pushing for the change in demographics. It's the Democrats that want white people to become like this extreme minority in America. It's the Democratic Party in general that hates white people, that's pushing this hostility towards white people. So basically, if you want to see white people become this extreme minority in America, then continue to vote Democrat. And so, the main reason I vote Republican is because I don't want to see America turn into South America. I don't want to see America turn into the Middle East. Okay, I like America. I like American culture, and I want to see it preserved. And there's a lot of other reasons why I vote Republican, but honestly, the biggest issue is immigration. So I'm not even going to get into the other reasons why I like the Republican Party, because it's not important. I don't need to explain every reason why I like the Republican Party to get my point across. The point is, vote Republican because of immigration. It's okay to be a one-issue voter when it comes to this, okay? Because the issue of immigration is so important, I encourage people to be a one-issue voter. Come to the Republican side because of immigration. That's the only reason anyone should need to vote Republican. I mean, you have to ask the question, what's really going to affect our eternal life? This is about survival, long-term survival. And it's not going to help our survival if America slowly transforms into South America or the Middle East. That's not going to help us. That's not going to help our chances of survival. That's going to help our chances of dying in some terrorist attack or some migrant criminal activity, being murdered, like we see all the time. People being murdered by migrants. Anyways, I hope that I have been able to persuade you to stop voting Democrat.